that's the last resort that he has to do something like that, the drastic measure.
No, he won't do it. He won't do it. That's not his style. And I won't do it. The only reason that we're calling him out, if Canelo decides to vacate the belt and leave the belt, I'll never say his name again until he starts calling us again. But right now, it's the WBC belt that's important to Golovkin, and he has it. And if he's not willing to fight, then just give it up.
Will you come down and weigh maybe to
Never.
157?
Never.
For the money?
No, never.
How come?
First, he wants to be unified champion. Okay. Then, after he's unified champion and Canelo gives it up, then they can go and negotiate something at a less weight. Right now, it's a principle of the thing to him. It's not to me. It's to him. He says he will not come down 1 ounce. It's a 160-pound belt, and that's what he's going to fight at. If he doesn't want to, he can go on and leave the belt.
Are you guys planning as if the Canelo fight is not going to happen, or are you going to remain open?
No, that's Tom's deal, and I'm sure he's not planning that. I'm sure that he hopes that Canelo says yes, because for all of us, I think it's a fight that we want to see. I'm a fan too.
Hey, but you talk about the belts, but I mean, at some point, people want to see him win with a big name. Isn't the big name just maybe even more important, especially at 34 years old for him?
You know what? If you have to have hold a gun to somebody's head to get him in the ring with him, I mean, that's not something we can do. That's now maybe you guys can get on Canelo's case and force the fight. We're willing to fight. We want to fight for the belt. When back in the Rosado days, I think HBO gave me 20 names. They asked me which one I would not fight, and I okayed all of them. I gave it back to Tom. I okayed all of them. At this point, there's nobody out there that we won't fight at 160. At 160, if he moves up, it's got to be a significant fight. It's got to be a fight that makes sense for him financially. If not, then we'll just keep going towards the unification of the belts, 1, and 2, Hopkins' record. Now, as I said in another press conference, has there ever been any fighter in any era, in any weight, that has dominated a division like he's dominating right now? All knockouts. Hopkins didn't have all knockouts. He had 20. What if he goes and breaks Hopkins' record with all knockouts? We can criticize all we want the opposition, but you realize that Hagler fought a Leonard, who had moved up 1 fight to fight Kaluli, won that title, then took off 3 years to fight Marvin, and he beat Marvin. So, and then you look at some of the fighters that Marvin fought, you have a lot of the same kind of fighters that we fight. He really didn't have that many marquee fighters that he fought on his record. We have had some champions. I don't think we've ever fought somebody that's not in the top 10. I think most of the guys have been in the top 5. There's been a couple champions, but nobody in any era, in any division, has ever dominated a division like Golovkin has dominated.
Abel, I want to feed off a little bit of what he said. Actually, it's perceived that Canelo is the toughest challenge for Golovkin, and wouldn't he want to challenge himself, and therefore, it'll get to the point where he has to make the fight with Canelo happen. Even
he doesn't have to do anything. No, he doesn't have to do anything.
Challenge himself.
No, why would he have to? Why would he give in into a diva? Why would he give in to somebody that's trying to change boxing? 155 is not a division. I think we have 17 divisions in boxing right now. Why do we need any more for?
He's walking through all his opponents. I mean, Canelo seems to be the only challenge out there.
And then when he knocks Canelo out, what are you guys going to say? Now he's got to fight Klitschko?
Both of them.
Both of them at the same time. That's what he just said right now. It comes a point where it gets ridiculous because he has goals himself, and one of the goals is to equal the great Bernard Hopkins. I mean, Bernard Hopkins is the last middleweight unified champion. He wants to equal that first, and then if he happens to win more defenses, that's even better for him. He has a hell of a lot of respect for Bernard and what he done. So to equal that mark would be something that nobody else has done.
Hey, but what Lance said was, you guys don't want to come. You guys don't want to come down and wait, but
we don't
everybody
have to come down and wait.
No, but everybody, Floyd, Oscar, everybody's had that thing where they had to be the B side. They had to give up certain concessions in order to get to where they want to. And if he did that, I mean, those 2-3 pounds would actually mean more to Gennady just to get that fight and move to that next
strategy. It would mean nothing to us. It would mean nothing to us. It would mean nothing to us other than a bigger paycheck. But he's getting very good money right now. He's happy fighting at 160 pounds. Again, once he wins the title, has the title himself, and he's a unified champion, then things can change. Then negotiations can happen. But until he's a unified champion, he's not gonna bow down to a diva.
Are you a victim of your own success?
That could be true. That could be true, but you know what? If Canelo doesn't fight him for the WBC title, then he not only does he take on another 15 contenders that deserve a chance to fight for the title because everybody works their way up, And once there's other 15 contenders, they're going to want a shot too. So we take on, we have consequences by winning a title. What does that mean? If we don't fight this fight tonight, he gets the belt stripped, just like Tyson Fury got his belt stripped. And we worked too hard to get to that point for us to fight it. Now, if he wins the WBC title and WBC says you got to fight the #1 contender, then what do? We're not going to give it up. We're going to fight the WBC #1 contender. That's just part of what he wants to do as a fighter and as a guy that wants to go down in history.